reject everything you've said in this video thus far. You think I'm one of those meta cucks? I don't care if it brings my demise. I will choose my starters based on how cute they are. I don't care if it was not optimized. I'm built different. What is up, my fellow thoughts? It's your boy, Minor69er. Hi. My name is Master Sky, and welcome to the first Pokemon you should catch in every game. Except I'm here to tell you why you shouldn't catch these Pokemon, and why you should instead catch 600 rats. We're the rats. But before we begin, please guys, for me, subscribe to the channel and stick around to the end of the video. Now let's get right into it, shall we?
The earliest Pokemon you encounter in a playthrough are usually weak and just end up as bodies to fill out your party with.
Nuh-uh! Weak, how dare you! I can't believe this. Already I'm upset.
Some of these early game Pokemon can be deceptively powerful. So today I'm covering what I believe to be the best first Pokemon to catch in every mainline Pokemon game.
Ooh.
Based on how well that Pokemon
mainline Pokemon game. Alright, is there a gym in every mainline Pokemon game? I feel like I went ahead and Nuzlocke the only Pokemon game without gyms.
Matches up against the early game and beyond. The only rule is that the Pokemon must be obtainable before beating the first gym. We begin with red, blue, and yellow, and the main priority is finding
I've always wondered, in the gym battles, do you ever get to see, like, the characters from the anime? Does that happen? I would love to see that.
Something that will help against Brock.
I would love.
Sure, he's.
Oh! What are the odds of that? I was just about to say, I would freaking love to fight Ash in a Pokemon game.
A pushover with Bulbasaur or Squirtle, but with Charmander or Pikachu, you'll want or need help. While you can find long-term useful Pokemon early,
what is Brock's elemental type? Because I know each gym, their Pokemon gym leader has a specific type, right?
Is Nidoran male for an eventual Nidoking, or Spearow for an eventual Fearow. You can find those Pokemon again later, and don't really need them now since they're bad against Brock. Nidoran does get Double Kick at a low level in yellow,
I don't know.
But it's not stat.
This is implying that I'll get Pokemon specifically for a fight. I'm way too sympathetic. I can attach my Pokemon really quickly.
And Onix's defense is through the roof.
Am I the only one who's like that? Like, they'll catch a Pokemon and just grow attached to that Pokemon specifically, or like a select few, and just not want to catch any other Pokemon because they like their group already.
Base 160, the second highest in all of Gen 1, and still in the top 15 to this day. Yellow version does have
probably because it's a rock,
22, which gives you a stab fighting move for the rock type fight, but again, Onix's defense is insane. But on the flip side, its base special stat, special attack and special defense were just one stat in Gen 1, is only 30.
Wait, explain, what do you mean?
Tied for the 9th worst in Gen 1, alongside Sandshrew, Rhyhorn, and Brock's other Pokemon, Geodude. So all you really
He is a rock type trainer. Huh, or is it called Earth?
To beat Brock is a strong special move that is not resisted. And there is one non-starter Pokemon that can give you that. The best first Pokemon to catch is Caterpie or Metapod. Not for them,
Which
but
one
for
comes
Butterfree.
First?
Metapod evolves into Butterfree at the low level of 10. That Butterfree will then get Confusion, a 50 power special move, at level 10 or 12 depending on the game. And Butterfree's special stat is 80, almost triple.
Why isn't there more butterfly wing type Pokemon? Why is Butterfree the only Pokemon I've ever heard of that has like butterfly wings? Give me more butterflies!
Onixes. You also might confuse
like
the
patterns.
Onix, potentially making it hurt itself instead of attacking, or have Brock waste a turn using a full heal. Now you may be thinking, wait, hold up.
Hang on, I gotta show you something.
Waste a turn using a full heal.
I'm kind of blocking the way, but when I read Brock's t-shirt, my mind did not go to Nibba. I'm just gonna say that.
Now you may be thinking, wait, hold on.
I'm not going to say what I thought it said, so
it is 4 times weak.
I'll leave it up to your interpretation.
And in other generations, you would be right. But in Gen 1, Brock's Pokémon do not know any rock moves. Beyond that, Butterfree is unlikely to stick around on your final team, but in the interim, its various status powders can come in handy, especially
Wait a minute. What region is Brock from? That's like the start of all regions.
Sleep Powder. In Gen 1, Sleep could last up to a horrifying
Also, why does no one age in this
turns.
universe?
And the Pokemon didn't even get to act on the turn it woke up.
What dark magic does Ash know that is like 16 in like XY, and then in like the beginning of Aloha he's like 12? Like, bro, stop it!
To beat Brock, then as an anesthesiologist for a while. Sounds pretty good to me. Next is Gold.
Yes, I went out of my way to watch some Pokemon before this video. No, I'm not kidding.
Silver and Crystal. These games have the lowest level gym leader in all of Pokemon, with Falkner's Ace being just a level 9. So as you might imagine, there aren't that many options. However, there is still a clear winner. That Pokemon is Bellsprout, found pretty easily in the routes neighboring the city. This might confuse you at first, since grass is not particularly helpful.
Does anyone else just see Pea-Shooter? I'm not the only one, right? The moment I see Bellsprout, my brain just goes doo 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 doo. Boop, 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 boop. It just goes to Plants vs. Zombies.
Against the Flying and Bug gyms, the first two. But you're not using the Bellsprout. A man in Violet City will trade your Bellsprout for an Onix named Rocky, giving you one of the strongest Pokemon possible this early in the game.
This is kind of a bit off topic, but I don't feel like these games are made for me. I would never trade my Pokemon. Why do we treat them like they objects and not animals? Like, that's like trading your dog. I ain't gonna trade my dog.
It won't have a rock move until level 14 and is technically weak to Falkner's Mud Slaps. But remember, insane defense. It is a stone wall that they will struggle to kill.
You shall not pass!
Screech, a useful defense dropping move to make up for its low attack.
Hey, Screech,
Beyond Falkner, it'll have a rock move for Bugsy's Bugs, and crucially, while Whitney's Miltank can't unfortunately
Bugsy's Bugs.
Have a rock move for Bugsy's Bugs.
Your name is Bugsy. Did your mother hate you? What, really?
And crucially, while Whitney's Miltank can unfortunately attract it,
then again, I met someone the other day named D, so I guess it's worse out there.
Resists all of her moves. Rocky is not good enough to remain on your team as just an Onix, but if you go through the unfortunate annoyances of getting a metal coat off a wild Magnemite, trade evolving it, and using the Iron Tail and Earthquake TMs to give it good moves, you'll have a very strong Steelix, which is absolutely an end-game worthy Pokemon. In Gen 2, it has
I fought a Steelix before. This thing is horrifying.
2 immunities, and 4 weaknesses. But half of those weaknesses are always physical, and thus have to contend with its massive defense.
Nuh-uh! What do you mean? It's not weak to physical. Then again, I fought a Steelix with an Umbreon and an Espeon, and I don't think they know any normal type moves. Maybe Umbreon does know normal type moves, but I can't remember.
Remember, it's a traded Pokemon. The whole time, it's getting boosted experience. Rocky the Onix is absolutely your best first catch in Generation 2. Okay, I guess Bellsprout technically is the first catch, but like, you're using the Onix, they're gonna share the trophy. Side note, if you're wondering why I did not discuss Mareep, Gen 2 actually blocks your path to Mareep.
I love Mareep. It's so cute.
It's grass on Route 32 until after you beat the first
I love
gym.
the sound Mareep.
Next is Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. This choice is quite tricky because several of the frontrunners overlap their typings.
I haven't played any of
starters.
these yet.
This does not disqualify them, but it is a factor I have to consider. For example, I think Shroomish is great. Its grass type can help with Roxanne, Effect Spore can get you out of a bind, and it gets—
Wait, Roxanne?
Its grass type can help with Roxanne.
Why does that look like that woman from Mega Man? Does anyone know who I'm talking about? There's like a, you know the blue guy with the Pea-Shooter? It's Mega Man. It's not Mega Man, it's Mega Man. I don't know what her name is, but that looks like her.
Effect Spore can get you out of a bind, and it gets
Machine.
an incredible
taking
move
a picture with a funny rock.
Early. But of course it overlaps with Trico, and eventually Blaziken with fighting as Breloom. Ruby and Sapphire, but not Emerald, have an in-game trade in Rustboro for Makit the Makuhita if you trade over a Slackoth. I think Hariyama is an excellent Hoenn playthrough Pokemon with its massive bulk.
Hariyama? What type Pokemon is that? I forget, it's not type, it's not elemental, it's types.
Huge attack and low evolution level. And getting one with boosted experience that you can use for Roxanne, Norman, Sydney, Glacia, and Steven is huge. Makit is also guaranteed Guts, a much better ability for Hariyama.
It's so gutsy that having a status condition boosts the Pokemon's attack stat. Whoa.
Than Thick Fat. However, the
Thick Fat
fighting type obviously overlaps with Combuskin and Blaze.
Oh, it's a fighting type, right. Okay.
Finally, there's two psychic types to consider, Ralts and Abra.
I love Ralts so much! Oh my god, this Pokemon is adorable.
Gardevoir is a staple of many.
I know that's going to be very, like, most of you are going to be very angry when I say this. But I like Ralts and whatever Ralts evolves to better than Gardevoir. There, I said it. I like Ralts. Ralts cute.
Hoenn teams, and Route 102 is the only place to get Ralts.
Ralts is like one of my top 3 Pokemon. It's like Metalweather, Ralts, and then the pink version of Eevee's evolution. Sylveon? No. The one of the ribbons, whatever that one is called.
I do personally think Alakazam is a bit better though, but Abra is only available before the first gym in Emerald, found on Route 116. It's a tough call for sure, but I think despite the Blaziken overlap, I have to say that Slackoth is the best to catch, so you can trade it for Makit the Makuhita. Hariyama is simply fantastic, and even if you pick Torchic...
Okay. Hang on. Okay, I reject everything you've said in this video thus far. You think I'm one of those meta cucks? I don't care if it brings my demise. I will choose my starters based on how cute they are. I don't care if it was not optimized. I'm built different.
Having it on your team for the Norman battle will be huge, since you'll still only have Combuskin at that point.
Gym.
Also, Blaziken cannot learn Belly Drum, which is one of my favorite moves. Belly Drum maxes your attack stat to +6 in
Wait. Maxes your attack stat.
exchange for having HP.
Oh, okay.
And if you just potion it back
I was going to say, that seems really powerful. I'm glad it's some kind of drawback.
Up, Hariyama can now sweep most anything. That's just in Ruby and Sapphire though. In Emerald, my choice is Abra, so you have a strong, fast psychic type for the sometimes challenging brawling
Abra's a psychic type? Really?
battle. I chose it over Ralts because you can have Kadabra with base 120 special attack and
Are you kidding? You chose this amiibo looking oh, come on,
105 speed at just
why you gotta do Ralts dirty like that?
level 16. Ralts doesn't evolve to Curlia until level 20, and
Man.
Curlia's base stat total is only 278.
I don't care if it's not optimized!
Next is Fire Red and Leaf Green. And while my priority is the same, ensuring you have a way to beat Brock even if you choose Charmander, my choice is not the same.
Wait, how many games is Brock in?
Onyx actually has a rock move now, and it will hit Butterfree so hard that it might actually squash it. However, while Butterfree was nerfed, the runner-up was actually buffed to the point of being the new winner. That Pokemon is Mankey. Mankey is found on
I will never get tired of hearing this Pokemon's name. Mankey.
on Route 22 still, and now resists the rock move that Onyx will use. But more importantly, the fighting move it has is Low Kick. This is the same as before, but in Gen 1, Low Kick was a 50 power move with 90%.
Wait, it just said 100% accuracy.
Same as before, but in Gen
Does that mean, like, is the accuracy stat telling you what are the odds of an attack going to miss it is? What? You know what I mean? Is that what the accuracy stat is for?
1, Low Kick was a 50 power move with 90% accuracy and a 30% chance to flinch. Not awful, but not stellar against a massive defense Onyx. But starting in Gen 3, Low Kick's power changes based on the target's weight. Onyx weighs 400
on the weight.
63 pounds.
Wait! its damage is dependent on its weight. That is so weird. I kind of like it though, because I would imagine its damage is based on the percentage of its health, like on its weight. So did they make like a weight class for every Pokemon just for this one move?
Which means Low Kick is 120 base power against it. That is an insanely strong move with no drawbacks. Primeape is not great long term. There's no Rage Fist Annihilate, and fighting isn't that great in Kanto anyways. But if you need help getting past the Rock Snake wall, then Low Kick Mankey is a great way to do that. Also, I should note that while in a previous video I named Nidoking the best Fire Red Leaf Green team member, and Nidoran Male does learn Double Kick, you cannot get it before Brock like you could in Gen 1. So it was never
Brock is a gym leader. That's interesting.
Contestant for Gen 3.
Wait, Brock was with Ash, who was also with some orange-haired girl. What was her name? Sky? No, it wasn't Sky, it's my name. What did she become?
Video.
By the way, I love that, like, hearing about what, like, the older generation of Pokemon characters has become over the years.
Is Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. And this is the easiest choice so far. Most Pokemon games feature an early route normal type, an early route bug, and a regional bird. Prior to Sinnoh, all of those were underwhelming at best, at least in the long term. Then Sinnoh added Starly. Starly is found on the literal first route of the game and evolves at the pleasantly low level of just 14. As Staravia, it gets Intimidate, one of the best abilities in the game. Then it becomes Staraptor with base 100 speed.
It becomes edgy. It even gets red hair just like me. Bro, I might be a Starlet.
And 120 attack, and access to the incredible move, Close Combat. Even without Stab, this move is so strong on such a strong Pokemon that you can get away with not even having a fighting type on your team. With the combo of flying—
Wait, those were fighting types?
That you can get away with not even having a fighting type on
really?
your team. With the
The Fire Pony is a fighting type. It throws hands with hooves. Explain.
Combo of flying offense and close combat.
Bird.
Your
Close
little
combat.
Starly can go on to excel in the Grass Gym, Fighting Gym, Steel Gym, Ice Gym, and Bug Elite 4. Plus, you need a flyer on your team anyways. This is still the era of HMs, and not having access to fly at all times is super annoying. And Staraptor is one of the best fly—
What does fly do? Because in Pokemon Coliseum, I think when you used fly, it made you untargetable. Is that still the same in other generations of Pokemon games?
Ever made. If you're not using Staraptor in Sinnoh, you're either doing something wrong or are choosing not to for variety or a challenge. It's the best team member outside your starter, and it just happens to be found on the first route of the game. Next is Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and there's been a big change from Gen 2. Mareep is now obtainable before Falkner. This gives you an electric type for the Flying Gym and—
I feel like I've seen this Falkner character multiple times, and the fact that it's using a Mareep, just, I don't know, I like it, because I really like Mareep, and I wish like we saw much more Mareeps more often.
Bugsy Scyther. Onyx got some buffs too though. It now gets Rock Throw sooner, and Steelix doesn't need a TM for Iron Tail. Both are really useful and worthy team members, but I'm gonna keep Rocky the Onyx, or for getting technical, the Bellsprout you need to trade for it, as the winner. Assuming you're willing to get a Metal Coat from a Wild Magnemite—
Can we rename him to not Rocky? Why is he called Rocky? That's so uncreative.
Evolve it. I know it's very annoying.
Call him Boulder.
But I will deal with annoyances for power.
By the way, if you're playing any of these games on a modern day emulator, you can get rid of trait evolutions with a feature of the universal randomizer.
Anyways, while the Mareep line is good against Gym 1 and 2, it's hit much harder by Miltank. Meanwhile, Onyx is
I freaking love the designs. Like, ignoring the Pokemon for just a second.
It's hit much harder by Miltank.
I feel like we don't talk about, like, the design of Pokemon characters enough. Because, I mean, I'm kind of blocking her, goddammit. Because, I mean, I know, everyone comes for Pokemon for the Pokemon. But we can we give some props to, like, the world building and the characters? Because I feel like they're really cool. Though, that's not to say there's, like, no bad characters, because there are some horribly designed characters, but most of them are pretty good.
Meanwhile,
I like it.
Onyx is a really strong wall against all of the first 3 gyms, and will have stab super effective damage for the first 2. And then Steelix is just simply so powerful, extremely strong, and hard to kill. Also, again, Rocky is an in-game trade. Boosted experience is a pretty big deal. Haha, it is I, Guarantee.
Oh no, it's John Ad!
And it is back to school season.
I will tolerate it, you get that bag, man.
Which means... the nightmares about my teeth falling out at prom get worse. What? No, Jesus. It means you can get a discount on Raycon's Everyday Earbuds Classic.
I heard Raycon was in trouble, or something.
The sponsor of today's video. 32 hours of battery life with the case, a quick charge function that gives you 90 minutes of usage with just
You know, if you close your eyes, you kinda sound like Jacksepticeye.
10 minutes of charge, and active noise cancellation. Perfect
Does
for getting
it?
into the zone while studying. I also like the option to switch to awareness mode, so if I'm out somewhere like on a walk where I need to be aware of my surroundings, I can be. Overall, they sound so good and are just so straightforward and easy. I use mine literally every day. Ooh, and have you seen the new colors? I normally go for black everything, but I'm thinking about trying out cool mint. You know, change up my style for the new school year. School year? Grunty boy, you're 30. I'm getting a master's degree. In crime. You mean criminal justice? Nope. Just crime. Click the link in the description below or go to buyraycon.com/MandJTV to get 20% off site-wide. That's buyraycon.com/MandJTV. Well, good luck on your master's degree. Why, thank you. And good luck with your teeth.
Oh my god, just...
Is black and white. Keep going to therapy too. Ta-ta! Next is black and white. No other Pokemon game has fewer pre-Gym 1 Pokemon.
Also, when I was a kid, I've never had any Pokemon toys, except for those two.
No other
Hang on. Shush.
Ta-ta! Next is black and white.
Yeah, I had a toy of whatever these Pokemon are called, and I freaking loved them. And I still don't know what are the names, or like, what's the lore behind them.
No other Pokemon game has fewer pre-Gym 1 Pokemon. It's actually insane. There are so few that I will name all of them right now. You can get your starter, Patrat.
Oh, Swigglypuff. No, what is this grass Pokemon's name?
Lillipup, Purloin, and the Elemental Monkey, weak to your starter, but strong against the gym.
I like the Green Monkey.
That's it. That's the whole list. You cannot make a full team of 6 Pokemon without doubling up on species. This is especially brutal considering that the Striaton Gym will always be strong against your...
Hey, wait a minute. I know who that is. He's from XYZ. I don't know.
starter. Therefore, the best first Pokemon to catch is whichever monkey you get. You don't technically catch it, it's a gift, but like
Monkey.
Catch can be a synonym for obtain.
I want to make an entire Pokemon team of just monkeys.
Pansage, Pansear, and Panpour are the winners for the sole
Filthy monkey who can't even use Jujutsu.
reason that they can help you just get past the first gym and start building an actual team. I do not care if you never use them again, just monkey your way out of this early game prison.
How dare you? I cannot believe this. You think that I'll just drop everything I'm doing and leave my monkeys behind? Well, no! My monkey come with me to the end.
Black 2 and White 2 provide
can't believe
significantly more options, but unfortunately none of them really impress me. Riolu is found in Flockacy Ranch, and thanks to its
Riolu.
fighting type, it is seemingly strong against the first gym, which is normal. Steel fighting...
Alright,
Its fighting type, it is seemingly strong against the first gym.
I don't gush about characters very often, but like... okay, I don't gush about like the attractiveness of characters very often, but something about this character design just works, and I don't know what it is. It's just put together really well. I like it a lot.
Which is normal. Steel fighting Lucario is certainly very useful once you can get it evolved. However, for Riolu to get a fighting move, you have to out-level the first gym. so it's only somewhat helpful, and then you have two
Fine.
back-to-back gyms that resist fighting.
Look at these!
Plus,
This one kind of looks like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. But like the guitar one, goddamn!
overlaps with Pignite. Mareep is a solid electric type, but you don't need electric for the first gym, and the Verbank complex right after has
I find it funny how I'm somewhat of a singer, and my favorite Pokemon is Meloetta. A singing Pokemon. It's perfect!
Dynamite, which I think is better. I'm not thrilled about it, but my pick is Riolu. It will be a good team member for two of the starters, and still a solid one if you pick Tepig, since despite their overlap in fighting, Lucario and Emboar's only weakness overlap is ground. The Friendship evolution could be annoying, but leveling up is the most effective
Friendship evolution?
friendship booster, so catching Riolu at such a low level should speed up that process. Next is X and Y, and a runner-up
Oh dear.
I want to mention is
That kind of looks like that deer from Elden Ring.
Bumblebee to do a trade in Santaloon for a Farfetch'd named Quacklin. That's fantastic. Quacklin will dog walk the first gym.
Why is he carrying a frickin' Hatsune Miku? That's not... What is it called? That's a leak! Also, again, look at the gym leader! That's such an amazing character design.
The bug gym, but its usefulness falls off pretty quickly after that. Farfetch'd is, after all,
and I'm like the resident anime hater / lover.
a very terrible Pokemon. My pick for the winner is actually Riolu again. It's found on Route 22, just east of...
Forget the Pokemon. When is the MandJTV of all, the best designed Pokemon characters? Because I want to see that.
Santaloon City, and while it won't be any help in the first gym, you can begin the process of boosting its friendship at level 6 or 7. Grant, the rock leader, isn't until level 25, so you might have a steel fighting Lucario for the second
What the
gym.
heck is in his hair? Are those marshmallows? Are those Smarties? Bro, get the M&Ms out your hair! Why is your hair rock? I just noticed that!
And then, of course, Mega Lucario. I won't go into too much detail about this. I discussed it in my best gift Pokemon in every game video, so you can just watch that. But in short, Mega Lucario is the most broken playthrough Pokemon ever. Its stats and typing and ability simply destroy everything it comes up against. Now you could of course just use the gift Lucario that Karina gives you, but if you catch Riolu early, you can use it for Grant. Additionally, while Lucario overlaps with Chestnut's fighting type, you won't have a Chestnut for...
Fuck you mean Chestnut? That cannot be a real Pokemon name. I refuse to believe it!
Grant. And in their final forms, they only share a weakness to fire. Next is Omega Ruby and Alpha
do
Sapphire.
share weakness to fire.
Gardevoir is better now thanks to Fairy, but the types that Fairy is good against that are not already weak to Psychic, those being Dark and Dragon, are not until the League. Additionally, Abra is after the first gym again, so it
Is this the same character? I feel like this is the same character I spoke about earlier.
cannot win like it did in Emerald. Therefore, my winner is the same as Ruby and Sapphire. Slackoth, so you can trade it for Maket the Makuhita, which was actually buffed. Gen 3 Maket had poor IVs and a neutral nature, but Gen 6 Maket...
What do you mean nature hardy? Hang on!
Maket had poor
Pause!
IVs and a neutral nature.
Wait, I'm kind of blocking it again. Goddamn, what do you mean nature hardy? That's not... What? What the frick does that mean?
But Gen 6 Maket has a perfect attack IV and an attack boosting nature.
Alright, and now its nature is brave. Alright, what is the difference between the elements, the type and the nature? Are those two different things?
Also, Hariyama now gets Belly Drum at only level 26. Even if you plan to move on from it once you have Blaziken, this boosted experience Hariyama is simply too good. Also, quick tangent.
My goober stick with me to the very end.
Before we move on to the next game, I discovered something while writing this section that I absolutely must tell you about. In every game since the move was introduced, Hariyama has Brine as a level 1 move. This confused me when I saw it because Brine is a special water attack, and every other Pokemon that learns it is water type, at least partially aquatic, or Mew, which learns all TM moves. So why does Hariyama get it in its level up? Sweat. It's Sweat. Sweat is salt water
Oh!
and thus brine. Hariyama
Genius.
sweats so much that it can literally damage foes with it. That is
And gross.
as funny as it is disgusting. Next is Sun and Moon, which of course do not have gyms, so instead I'm looking at Pokemon obtainable before the first major battle, the
There's no gyms in this one. Alright, got it.
Totem Gumshoos or Alolan Raticate. There are a lot of options, but I don't really think any of them are exceptional. Some are good for the Totem, but not for Hala, or vice versa.
Hala.
And others are solid Pokemon,
God, I love Aloha so much.
but overlap with starters and don't really
I
shine
don't know, it's just something about that just make me like it.
until later. Therefore, I think the best Pokemon is one that is all around good, doesn't overlap starters, and has good matchups against both some early game
Wizard.
battles and some later ones. And my pick is... Pick!
That is the most adorable boy I've ever... I will fight for him. He is mine, and if he dies, I die.
Peck. You see what I did there? Piggy Peck is another regional bird and thus caught very early, on the first route of the game. And the line is good because it evolves quickly.
No, I'm slightly sad. I love the tiny Pokemons, but then they evolve and they just become like animals, like... Bruh, that takes the fun out of the...
Into Trumbeak at just 14, and Toucanon
It's
at
not
just
that
28.
bad, but still,
While they
it
are
bothers me.
unfortunately quite slow, you can kind of get around that with early access to the Quick Claw, and then you can enjoy their high
The
attack.
Quick Claw.
Toucanon's is 120. They also have a good ability. If you get one with Skill Link, which
So,
maxes the number
it goes from like a precious Goober to an angry bird. Come on, man.
of hits for multi-hit moves, that gives you Stab Fury attack
Big savage.
that will be 75 power plus Stab, assuming it doesn't miss, along with 125 power Bullet Seed later,
Ooh.
and eventually Rock Blast from the Move Tutor. It also has a surprisingly
Ah,
wide move
how is
pool
it
of
bad?
physical
Use Rock
coverage
Blast.
moves. I also
What?
selected it because flying's a generally good type in Alola. And everywhere else, go Team Sky! Hala is the immediate good
Wow,
matchup.
go Team Sky! Yeah, I like this plan.
And you should have Trumbeak by that point, but then it goes on to help with the Grass Trial, Guzma's Bugs, the
Ooh.
Totem Kamo-O, and Hala again in the league. Additionally, Toucanon's normal flying typing is
Can you
defensively
catch-
good against the
Can you
Ghost
catch like the I love a thing. Can you catch the what is Tabulele? It's like a legendary or something, right? Can you catch those Pokemon in the games?
Trial and Hapu's ground types.
Also, I love
It's
Mimikyu.
not outrageously amazing, but it's a solid team member that you can get very early. Things are very different in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, though.
Whoa.
A bunch of new Pokemon were added, expanding your options even
Hey,
more.
I know
but
that.
one of them in particular is actually insane. The first
What's
Pokemon you should catch is Spearow on Route 2.
No.
But just so you can do another in-game trade. I know there's a lot of
Oh, trading Pokemon, my favorite thing. Yeah, have my dog. I won't be needing him.
these in this video, but a lot of them
I
are
would
good.
never.
In the Route 2 Pokemon Center, a girl would like a Spearow in exchange for a freaking Hawlucha! Yes! Hawlucha! A Pokemon with a base
Wow! What the frick is that?
stat total of
that queso?
500 before the first fight of the game. And that first battle is weak to fighting. And then the second is weak to flying. Hawlucha can solo the first two boss fights of the game. But it goes so much
It looks like it was dropped out of WWE.
farther than that. Cha, I realize I didn't mention, that is the name of this awesome Hawlucha, has an offensive advantage
I love that. I don't know why.
against the Totem Araquanid, Totem Lurantis,
What is that Lurantis Pokemon? I really like that.
Olivia's rock types, the Totem Togedemaru, Guzma's
Oh yeah, Togedemaru.
bug types, Nanu's dark types,
I might actually start buying Pokemon plushies.
the Totem Kamo-O, the Totem Rabambi, and Mullane and Olivia in the league. It is
God, Olivia is like my favorite Pokemon character in existence.
defensively weak to some of those, like it is weak to electric and also rock, but still, that's most of the fights in the game. You can catch Wild Hawlucha on Route 3, but Cha is better because you can use it for the Totem Gumshoos Eradicate, it gets boosted experience, and it has a perfect attack IV and an attack boosting nature. Cha the Hawlucha is easily the best Pokemon for an Ultra Alola team.
What does he evolve into?
And I think it is very weird that this girl wanted to get rid of him. What for a
Yeah, she might have been me, because I would be like, well, no, she wouldn't, because I wouldn't trade my Pokemon. But still!
Spearow? That is a much worse bird. Next is
I'm not a meta cuck. I will use the cute You cannot stop me, funny man.
Which changed the Kanto games a lot more than just adding janky motion controls.
Whoa.
For one, you start with either Pikachu or Eevee, but they're much more powerful than normal ones.
This is a no-brainer. If you choose Pikachu, I will Pika shit you on you. Eevee is such like the clear better option. Why? Cause Eevee has like 5 evolutions. And Pikachu loses their charm after their first evolution into Raichu.
And they have Double Kick for Brock. Also, the early game spawns have changed somewhat. This is made apparent by the fact that the gym attendant won't even let you into the gym if you don't have a grass or water type in your party. Yeah, clearly the difficulty is quite a bit lower now. This quest wouldn't actually be possible in the older games unless you started with Bulbasaur or Squirtle. It's also odd that he says grass or water because there are no wild water types before Gym 1. So you need a grass type.
What do you mean? What do you mean there's no wild water types? Go to the ocean. You're surrounded by water.
This works pretty well though, actually.
Are there any like deep sea Pokemon? I would love to see an anglerfish Pokemon. That'd be horrifying.
Since grass will be useful for both Brock and Misty. But which grass type to pick? Let's go. Pikachu
What
only
is that
has
pose? Hang on. Pause.
Brock and Misty.
What is this? I'm blocking. Why are these characters always hiding behind me? Stop it! What is that pose? Like, bro, what are you doing? Stand up straight.
But which grass type to pick? Let's go. Pikachu only has Oddish, while Let's Go Eevee only has Bellsprout. But neither of these matter here, because the best option is by far Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur is now found wild in Viridian Forest as a special
Bulbasaur's mid.
spawn, meaning it is almost impossible to find without a catch combo, but it spawns quite consistently if you have one at about 11. Alright, so I guess it's probably not going to be the first one you like
Does the flower on Bulbasaur ever like bloom?
Actually catch, but it's the first one you're going to use, and that's close enough. Bulbasaur is already considered the best starter in the older Kanto games, so of course
Why? What's wrong with Squirtle?
it's still a spectacular
I mean,
team.
like, to be fair, between these
Considered
three,
the best starter
I don't really like any of them, to be honest.
in the older
If I could choose, I would just choose, like, another Pokeball
Kanto
to go
games.
catch a better Pokemon.
So of course it's still a spectacular team member when you can get it just slightly later. It beats Brock, Misty, and Giovanni, both outside and inside his
One of those were not like the other.
gym, and it's defensively strong against Lieutenant Surge and Erica. Plus, now
Oh, was that a guy from the military?
that Fairy exists, its poison type will be useful for any you run into. As icing on the cake, you'll want an original Kanto starter on your team in general, because after beating Blaine, you get the Mega
Blaine.
Stones for Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise, meaning Mega Venusaur for Gym 8 and the League. Next is Sword and Shield, which are,
Ooh.
frankly, insane. Let's first address the Caparaja in the room, Dynamax Adventures. I've explained this before, so I'll try to keep it brief.
You've lost me at Dynamax Adventures. Are we still talking about Pokemon? Hang on, you've lost
If you
me!
have the DLC, you can go to the Crown Tundra, lose the battle to Peony, go to the
There are Pokemon DLCs? It's Nintendo, of course there are Pokemon DLCs.
Max Lair, run through a Dynamax adventure using rental Pokemon, catch a level 70 Suicune.
Wait! Whoa! What do you mean rental? We're renting Pokemon? What? No, I refuse that.
Since this feature bypasses the catch level limit, and steamroll the entire game with it. So technically, Suicune would be the best first Pokemon to catch.
Suicune.
But what if you don't have the DLC, or you don't want to break the game? then you have an absurd amount of options. Before the first gym, there's routes 1 through 4, the Slumbering Weld, Galar Mine number 1, and the entire wild area. Okay, not the entire wild area. A lot of the places don't spawn Pokemon weak enough for you to catch without having a gym badge. But like, still the spawns change every day. There are the lasers. Like, it's so much. All in all, there's like 70 different Pokemon you can get before Gym 1. So how am I possibly going to choose the best one?
I don't know.
Well, it's actually quite simple.
Oh.
You see, you just get something that you can get really, really early.
Do not say trade. I'm so tired of that.
Good. And it's Rookidee. Rookidee can actually be the literal first Pokemon you catch on Route 1, and it is yet another stellar regional bird. Flying is great early, since the first gym is grass, the third has a bug type, and if you're playing Sword,
something about that character scares me.
Is great early, since the first gym is grass.
I don't know what it is, but something about this character just rubs me the wrong way. I don't like it.
The third has a bug type, and if
it gives me vibes from a character from My Hero Academia. Not All Might, but like the guy below All Might. I think his name is like Maximilian or Mammalian. I don't know. He creeps me out to no end.
Playing Sword, the fourth is Fighting type. But in addition to this, Rookidee has a strategy that is one of the most impressive that.
Before anyone says it, I am looking respectively at the trainers. I don't want to see any comments of you guys. Oh, Sky Goody for the. No!
I've ever seen. Rookidee gets Power Trip
I
at
am
just
looking
level 4.
Respectively.
A dark move that's only 20 power, but gains 20 power for each positive stat boost the user has. It's a physical dark type stored power. This move works great on Pokemon that can boost their own stats, and just 4 levels later, Rookidee gets Hone Claws, boosting its attack and accuracy by 1 stage.
What is that? What? But what? Look at this precious boy!
Each. So if you use Hone Claws twice, Power Trip is now 100 power. And since you're at +2 attack, it's effectively 200 power. Only Pokemon that resist Dark can really survive it, and if it's weak to Dark, like Beed's Pokemon are, then you can sweep through.
Beed. God, he also looks really cool. I want to hear like the themes of all these trainers. I bet the music is like really good.
1 Hone Claws, and that's just the early game. Rookidee eventually becomes Corviknight, which gains Steel.
What? Hang on!
To the early game. Rookidee eventually becomes Corviknight.
Becomes that? What?
Which gains Steel and ends up with incredible typing.
That is the coolest looking bird I've ever seen.
Only weak to Fire and Electric, while having 8 resistances and 2 immunities. If you
that still blows my mind. That's an evolution.
Evolve it before Opal's Gym, it can beat the Fairy Gym, Rock Gym, and Ice Gym while being immune to Raihan's Sandstorm. Plus, it's a Steel type. Even if it's not offensively strong, there's a high chance it's going to resist all of your opponent's moves. So Rookidee wins without the DLC, Suicune with it. But Rookidee wins no matter what, in my heart. Next is Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, which I'll keep short. It's Starly again.
I am really happy that Pokemon has finally upgraded to this more like 3D model, because I wasn't really a fan of like the top-down games.
The changes from Gen 4 are so minimal that it doesn't affect my answer. Then we have Legends Arceus, and as I've said before, I don't think the team you use really matters that much. Most of the major combat is dodge, roll, and try not to die. So I'm simply picking a Pokemon to help you get through the early game, that being Buizel. It's the most accessible early water type, and the Noble Cleavor is weak to water. Even if you picked Oshawott, it'll be nice to have a backup. Finally is Scarlet and Violet, where your options are the entire game. It's open world, and the gyms can be done in any order, so,
do it!
Oh God.
Cover every single one of them!
I'm just kidding, there's actually a pretty straightforward solution to this.
No!
I'm just looking at Pokemon in the areas before Mesa Goza.
That is so cool, an open world Pokemon game.
Specifically South Province Area 1. This is before you can ride Koraidon or Miraidon, and it's a true tutorial area. While some of the
Did that Pokemon just turn into a bike? The frick?
Pokemon here will be strong eventually, most are pretty weak to start out.
Don't
like
care, give me
Azumarill,
rolls.
Igglybuff, or Wooper. But
Oh,
there is
whoop,
one
give me
Pokemon
Wooper,
that is
friend.
outrageously powerful from the very beginning. Flamigo. Flamigo has a base stat total
I love
of
its name, but that's about it. I don't love its design, but I love its name, Flamigo.
500 with a base speed of 90 and a base attack of 115. And you can get it as low as level 4. By level 12, it'll have stab moves for both of its types, and like we saw with Hawlucha, flying and fighting just so happens to be an amazing offensive combo. If you didn't notice...
You're telling me that flamingo can fly? Can normal flamingos fly? I've never seen a flamingo fly.
Most of the
Can they
Pokemon I've
fly?
selected in this video have been flying type, fighting type, or both. Together, fighting and flying beat the first 2 gyms, 2 of the first 3 titans, and
what the frick am I looking at? Crab.
the first Team Star Camp. Flamigo bodies the early game with fully evolved stats, while most Pokemon won't be anywhere close to that. And after that, it excels in the normal gym, both ground titans, since Great Tusk is weak to flying and Iron Treads is weak to fighting, the ice gym, and the fighting Team Star Camp. If you get one with Scrappy, it can even help in the ghost gym. And yes, it does eventually overlap with Quaquaval, but Quaxley doesn't get fighting until its final form. Even if you pick Quaxley and ditch Flamigo later, Flamigo is so fantastic in the early game that passing it up would be a mistake. Thanks so much for watching. If you watched all the way through, then consider subscribing if you haven't already.
Holy
and if you want to see another
shiza.
similar video of mine, check out my video where I figured out the best pseudo-legendary Pokemon to use on your team in every mainline Pokemon game.
Well, that was MandJTV. Oh my god, how long have I been recording for? 50 minutes? The video is 30. Jesus Christ, I did a lot of yapping. Well, I suppose that'll do it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and if you'd like to see more MandJTV or any other Pokemon reactions, please let me know in the comments below. But for now, that'll do it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye. Hi. If you like this video, then please be sure to like, comment and subscribe to the channel. We also stream every Friday on Twitch at twitch.tv/themastersky. Or if you really love me, wink wink, then come support us on Patreon at patreon.com/mastersky to stay up to date with all of our new projects. And we also have a Discord server. We're looking for new members, so come say hey. Looking forward to seeing you there. Bye bye.